This is the big left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez out there for the Diamondbacks, who have won 5 of their last 6 games. And over that stretch, they've picked up 4 full games in the wild card chase. They are right on the heels of these Cardinals for that final postseason position. And there's your Y-Refi starting pitcher stats for Erod. After his All-Star game appearance last week, that .229 earned run average is 4th best among all Major League starting pitchers.
Yeah, his name is littered all over the leaderboard, National League pitchers, and he has faced the Cardinals once this season already. Shut him out in 6 2/3 innings on 3 hits and a no decision, so should be very familiar with this Cardinal lineup.
St. Louis not playing especially well lately. They've lost 7 of their last 11. The rookie J.J. Weatherholt leads it off for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's their motor. I mean, he's like Corbin Carroll to the Cardinals. If he's getting on base and stealing bases and making things happen, the Cardinals look like a very strong offensive ball club, especially with Jordan Walker in that 3-hole.
And they hold the National League's final wild card spot. Oli Marmol's Cardinals just 1 percentage point over the Marlins, who've lost 5 in a row. Gabriel Moreno behind the plate as we get a look around the diamond at the D-back defense, presented by CarShield.
Yeah, we know Gabby has been red hot. How hot? Well, he leads all Major League catchers in batting average at .309, on base percentage at .392, and he's second in the majors in defensive runs saved. He is doing it all.
Well, big game for the Diamondbacks here. They can clinch the series victory. They can clinch a win in the season series with St. Louis, which has all kinds of potential tiebreaker implications come the end of September. So you really want to get this one today if you can. Tyler Jones behind the plate, our plate umpire calling balls and strikes. And here we go. The All-Star Eduardo Rodriguez up against the Rookie of the Year favorite in the National League, J.J. Weatherholt. Weatherholt 264, 14 homers. He already has 22 hits when leading off a game this year. That's the most by a Cardinals rookie since Vince Coleman in 1985.
Makes my arm hurt just thinking about it.
Go get him.
And those were the old Whitey Herzog Cardinals. They would run. And Coleman was on base a lot more than I would have liked when we played against the Cardinals.
Bounce it off that turf and start sprinting toward first. Ball and a strike on Weatherholt. Well, the cutter got there, says Tyler Jones. Borderline strike goes Erod's way, and it's 1-2. Weatherholt takes a timeout. He's done just fine against left-hand pitching, particularly for a rookie. 262 against lefties this year. He's got 3 homers against left-handers. So he can certainly defend himself up there. And he rolls it over to second base for Marte. And a good start for Erod. Time now, Bob, for your keys to the game. That's brought to us by Ram Trucks.
Well, we haven't seen him yet, but when Andre Palante takes the mound, you are going to be amazed. You have to find the release point. He has what they call a very high front side with his glove arm. And hopefully another great group effort today. Everybody in the starting lineup reached base at least once yesterday, with the exception of Tim Tawa, who was probably the hottest Diamondbacks going into yesterday's game.
Well, here's a factor to consider when you do get on base. They have Ivan Herrera, who's been the DH behind the plate today. He's catching and batting second, and he is not great at throwing out attempted base stealers.
Ooh, that is an understatement. I mean, he does a lot of things well. He frames well. He blocks well. Hasn't had a pass ball in 2 years.
Erod reaches out and snags it for 2 outs.
But the rest of the story is 26 stolen bases against Herrera this year. He's yet to catch a batter, which makes this 2 years in a row 41-0. The last runner he caught attempting to steal was Juan Soto in September of 2024.
So if they get on base, keep that in mind. Herrera now 0 for 10 in the series. A matchup of all-stars right there. Here's another one. The all-star lefty against the home run derby champion, it's Jordan Walker. Fastball's in there. Walker crowned the home run derby champ last week. 22 home runs for the Cardinals this year. He is the majors RBI leader, 75 runs knocked in. And Erod needs a moment here to get himself dressed again. Little shoe adjustment. Now we're set to go with an 0-1 count. Remember, it was a great start here yesterday for Brandon Pfaadt, a 9-pitch first. Erod on a similar pace here. That cutter didn't quite get in too far. There's Brandon Pfaadt, 3-0 in 3 starts now. Make it 4-0 in 4 starts since he came back from Reno.
Really good once again. Kind of ran out of gas a little bit in that last inning. Torre even admitted after the game, I probably should have pulled the plug on him, you know, but he was pitching so well, and the base hits they got against him in that 6th inning, it weren't like they were squaring him up.
Yeah, they found some holes in the infield. Just 2 runs in 5 1/3. We'll have a conversation with Brandon Pfaadt. I'll also check in with Brandon over the course of the game today. It's 2-2 on Jordan Walker. Walker in this series has walked. He has singled twice. He's knocked in a run. Big right hand power hitter Nelson Velasquez would be next. 3 lefties on the bench for Oliver Marmol today. Crooks, Church, and Torres. A little low. Oh, he got the call. Tyler Jones so far, pretty big strike zone back there, and twice it's worked in Erod's favor. He said to lead it off against your St. Louis starting pitcher. It's the right-hander Andre Pallante. 10-6, a sub-4 ERA. Pallante beat the Diamondbacks at Busch Stadium last month.
Not a big-time strikeout pitcher, and his record is mostly due to the run support he gets on the road. The Cardinals are averaging over 11 runs of support for Pallante when he's on the mound on the road. 2.93 runs at home.
Marte gets first look. He's at second base. And Cattell, 259, 17 homers. In the series, he has singled 3 times and walked. Drove in a run yesterday. That's on a play, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, there's the splits we were talking about. At home, 11 starts. He's pitched to a 4.99 ERA at home. Get that backwards.
It happens.
Numbers.
Numbers, math. Burleson. Here's a look around the diamond now at St. Louis defensively for the series finale today.
Boy, this young man's had a very impressive series with the glove. Mason Wynn out there at shortstop covers a lot of ground. He's got a big arm. His average throws across the diamond are 93 miles an hour. He's topped out at 97. 11 of the 13 fastest throws in the infield this year are by Mason Wynn.
National League Gold Glove winner at shortstop last season, Mason Wynn. Here's the Diamondbacks shortstop, Geraldo Perdomo. Well, clanked by Herrera back there. Fastball at 96 is ball 1. Jerry at 238, 6 homers. He does not have a hit in this series. He has walked 3 times. Andre Pallante does not strike people out. He generates weak contact when he's at his best. It's a 55% ground ball rate. That is second highest among all major league starters, behind only the Phillies all-star Christopher Sanchez. And that's kind of an example of it right there. Pallante earlier in his career did not have a lot of success. He struggled even getting right-hand batters out, but he's altered his arsenal this year. He's had a lot of success now. It's more sinker slider. Still throws his fastball, but it's never really been a great pitch for him, so he throws it less often this year. It's 1-2 on Perdomo. That's the curveball. He'll throw that to righties and lefties, and it's a very unusual release, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to look for the release point in the hand. You see, he throws that front arm. His glove is up in the air, gives you a lot to look at, and then the ball comes flying out behind it. It's very important you find the release point of his hand, not his glove. The release point of his hand, not his glove and that front arm.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities to former Diamondback Josh Coleman there. That over-the-top axe throw. Perdomo lines it to first, and Burleson's got it for the second out. And so it's mostly sinker slider. You'll see the curveball. He's got a split finger pitch he saves for the left-handers.
Yeah, we're told that slider has really been his go-to pitch this season. He gets a lot of swings and misses on that pitch, and he can steal a strike by throwing it up there on the first pitch.
Corbin Carroll bats third. And there's that curveball, steal strike 1. Corbin 250, the batting average, the lowest it's been for him since April 4th. He's got 14 homers. He homered here Friday night. Home run for Corbin is his only hit of the series. He is stuck in a 5 for 57 slide now in his last 16 games. Kind of hoping that home run swing off the right field foul pole the other night would be the catalyst for the comeback that is all but inevitable. But this has lingered on for a while now. Corbin in his last 45 games has hit 193.
Ouch.
That's ever since that 13-game hitting streak got snapped back near the end of May.
And for me, the most concerning thing about Corbin Carroll, I mean, every major league hitter, even the good ones, go through slumps over the course of the season, but the strikeouts, a lot of swing and miss in Corbin's game lately, not only on those high fastballs that we know he likes to chase, but just about everything.
20 strikeouts in his last 57 at bats, and there's one more for the list. There's the slider from Palante. Who works a 1-2-3 first. No score. Diamondbacks and the Cardinals on D-backs TV.
Yeah, some changes in the lineup today for Ollie Marmol. He's got 3 lefties on the bench, as you mentioned before, along with Pedro Pajes, a right-handed backup catcher. Erod's going to have to face a lot of righties today. He's got Weather holding the top spot, Burleson down in the 5 spot, and Nootbaar in the 8 spot. Everybody else hits from the right side.
And here is Velasquez. First series appearance, 246 and 4 homers. He's only played in 24 games. But he's a hitter that Ollie Marmol likes to put in there, he says, to try to do some damage against a lefty. So he's got an opportunity here today. That's the changeup that's been so good this year. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Velasquez has played in only 9 games since June 24th, so it's certainly not a situation where he gets a lot of consistent looks, but he has homered twice in those 9 games. Won't chase up there. Velasquez, for his career right now, sitting on 99 career RBIs. He's got the lefty Burleson behind him, then the shortstop Mason Wynn.
It's a rarity for Erod to get to a full count. Usually he ends at bats very quickly. 2 or 3 pitches, put it on the ground, let your defense work.
1-2-3 11 pitch first. Right on the bottom of that zone with that changeup. It's back-to-back strikeouts.
Well, he's got the ultimate confidence in that changeup, and as the season's gone on, he's gotten better and better. You see that circle change grip, the ball coming off the middle finger and the ring finger of that left hand. Drops it right in there at the bottom of the zone.
Left on left for Alec Burleson. He was in there at 275 and 15 homers. He's a big bat in this lineup. Erod's pitch comm not working. He's not hearing anything from Gabby's transmitter, it seems like. Erod's come a long way with the pitch comm. Remember when he first started here, that was introduced, he would only use it with a runner on second base. He was sort of the last holdout to the old finger system. But he's since adapted the new technology, which is getting more and more invasive in our game.
Yes, it is.
It's everywhere. Here's Burleson now. He has walked. He's singled 3 times and scored 3 runs in the series so far. He's top 4 in the National League with those 67 runs batted in.
Yeah, Burleson's a guy that kind of cleans up the mess after Jordan Walker. If he leaves anybody on base, Burleson's a guy to pick him up.
And usually against a right-hander, you've got Burleson hitting ahead of Walker, which helps explain Walker's major league leading RBI total. So it's a good combination. And Burleson drops down a bit against left-handers, but they don't skip him against left-handers. He gets plenty of looks left on left.
Yeah, and Burleson's got a little bit of Joe Morgan there, not quite to the extent that Joe used to do the chicken wing, but watch him kind of bring his elbows together after he gets into his stance. There you go.
When I was a kid, every little leaguer did that.
Oh yeah.
Right up the middle.
Ooh.
And it zooms by Perdomo. Base hit left on left for Burleson, who smoked that one up the middle at 101 miles an hour. First St. Louis hit.
We've seen the Cardinals do this throughout the series. A lot of their base hits go right back up the middle of the field. They had 9 knocks in game 1 of this series, and 6 of them came straight back up the middle of the field.
Yeah, that cutter kind of got left out over the middle of the plate, enough for Burleson to get the bat head on it. And 101 on board for Mason Wynn, the shortstop. Changeup is low. Wynn 246 and 4 homers. He is known for his defense at short, the National League's Gold Glove winner last year, but he's been a piece of St. Louis's offensive puzzle in this series. He's been on base all weekend. He has singled twice. He's walked twice. Stolen a base. He's knocked in 4 runs. Didn't go, says Chad Fairchild. It's 2 balls and no strikes. That's the curveball. It's nice to see him mix that in. He does it just enough to make it uber effective.
Especially early in the game. You show it early, it puts that seed in the hitter's mind. Oh yeah, he's going to throw that big breaking ball today, and then maybe you stick it in your back pocket until the next time you face the Cardinals. But show it early.
Big slow curveball. That's a 2-0 pitch these days. No fastball there. Follows up with a sinker, and it's 2-2. Iran right back even in the countdown. Jose Fermin, who's in center field today, is on deck. He's been at third base the first 2 games of this series. Burleson at first after the 1-out single. Now the 2-2. Just way outside. That changeup really sailed. It's full. So the second 3-2 count in this inning for Iran. Burleson holding at first, and that changeup is low. Wynn wouldn't bite. Back-to-back 1-out base runners now ahead of Fermin.
I wonder if Mason Wynn feels any extra pressure. I know when I played with the San Francisco Giants and Chili Davis came up from the minor leagues, and everybody was saying Chili is the next Willie Mays. Well, that's a pretty high bar. Chili had a tremendous career, but I wonder if Mason Wynn hears the same thing about being the next Ozzie Smith.
He's got a swag. I think he might invite that kind of comparison. Stubby Clapp coaching at first. Pop Warner at third for the Cardinals. 2 on, 1 out for Fermin. He swings at the first one. Perdomo tackles it. Marte for 1. And they roll it. A 1-pitch double play off the bat of Jose Fermin, who hit that hard to short. And Perdomo got it started. Diamondbacks and Cardinals are scoreless at Chase.
Love his approach right now. Well, I love his approach all the time. He's not worried so much about pulling the ball in the air to left field. He'll pick his spots. He'll pick his counts to do that, but he's just looking to get bat on the ball and put it in play.
4 hits and a walk in the first 2 games. He scored 3 runs. It's getting more and more complicated to keep track of all these hits, which is a nice problem to have. They average up to 309 now. This is kind of crazy. He's had exactly 2 hits, Gabby, in 9 of his last 14 games. And so that's a 14-game stretch during which he's gone 22 for 51. That's crazy. And oh, by the way, he's walked more than he struck out over that stretch. We'll take the 0-2 up high. And the Cardinals, as they've done throughout this series, move their outfield way over to the right side. And they pull Velasquez in left well off the line. You can see Fermin out sort of near the pool. Nootbaar is close to the line in right.
Yeah, a lot of room right down that left field line and toward that 413 mark in left center field.
1-2 from Palante. Digs out that curveball. Moreno has reached base safely now in 34 consecutive starts, dating all the way back to June 2nd. Since that date, he's hit .358. Torrey this morning was raving about what he said are Gabby's great bat to ball skills. But now there's some maturity, he says, that's happening right before our eyes, and I think that's a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a little more polish to his game. Kepler on deck. Got jammed that time. Mason Wynn collects it. Got that sinker in there for the first out.
Hey fans, if the D-backs hit a double, you get $15 off your next Uber Eats order of 30 or more. And the Diamondbacks have doubled in both of the first 2 games of this series. So come on, Uber Eats.
Be on standby. Max Kepler walked and scored last night. Dropped down that beautifully executed bunt base hit in his first at bat Friday. And so Blaze Jordan toes on the grass at third to keep an eye out for that. The slider's up high. Diamondbacks lead the season series for the moment with the Cardinals 3-2. These are the things you got to keep track of chasing a wild card. Right back to Palante. Diamondbacks win today clinches a postseason tiebreaker with St. Louis regardless of what happens Thursday when they go back to Busch Stadium for that rainout makeup. So you'd really like to get this one today.
I mean, the attitude going into this, and I mentioned it at the start of this series, this is your playoffs. You have to approach these kinds of series against teams ahead of you in that wild card race as a postseason game.
First at bat this season for Tyler Locklear, recalled from AAA Reno Friday. He's at first base today. Tyler has recovered nicely from both elbow and shoulder surgeries last fall. He saw the numbers at Reno, 54 games. And he said this week he started to get healthy and back into the flow of things. He was down for a long time, did not have a spring training. He spent the better part of the last 6-8 months rehabbing after that terrible collision at first base. Once more for Palante, top shelf. He set down 6 in a row. When we come back from this break, Todd Walsh chats with Brandon Pfaadt, who won again yesterday. Scoreless after 2 here. The active cash card.
Thank you, Steve. Brandon, we talked yesterday in the pregame show about your start after what happened on Friday night to this team, that this would be a follow me moment for the starting pitcher. Do you know where I'm going with that? And was that a part of the equation for you, carrying the weight of, hey, we got to turn the corner after what happened last night?
Yeah, I think it's not just me carrying the weight. I think it's the whole team, and how we showed up and overcame the adversity of the first night was great, and hopefully we can do that again today.
And there you were with an early lead too.
Yeah, that's the 4th start in a row that the offense has gotten me an early lead, like you said, and just go out there and settle in and put up as many zeros as I can until my time to turn it over to the bullpen. So that's what we've been doing.
I've been listening to your comments after each of these 4 starts, and you keep talking about the same thing. It's your mantra: be aggressive, be aggressive. But there's something else to this. You've walked one guy in those 4 games. How big of a picture is that to the whole story?
I think it correlates. I think being aggressive, being over the plate, trusting your stuff correlates to no walks, and I feel like that's one of my strengths, is not walking people and being aggressive and letting the defense work, and it's paid off in the 4 starts since we've been back.
I want to ask you about just what you've been through in the last little bit. It's been quite a journey for you, and here you are. Things are rolling. Have you found maybe a little inner strength that you didn't think you had to stay to that process and trust in it?
It's been a weird year, but I've always known it was in there, and just controlling the controllables and going out there and when my chance to start, go out there and do the best that I can, whether that be in certain roles that this year's become, and I think just going out there and doing my job to the best of my ability, and that's what we've been doing.
Lastly, before I let you go, this team still has things to accomplish. It's up to the guys in this dugout, is it not?
Yes, it takes everybody, and we know that, and we know the type of team that we are, and we're going to fight every day to make a playoff push, and we know we're able to, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Congrats, Brandon.
Thanks, Todd.
We haven't talked in a while, so it's good to chat.
It's been a while.
All right, Steve, we'll send it back upstairs to you.
All right, thanks, Todd. Thanks, Brandon Pfaadt. 4-0 in 4 starts since he's come back. Pretty good. Here's Blaze Jordan, the rookie, who's at third base today after a leadoff walk to Lars Nootbaar, and that's foul at third. So that's 2 walks in the last 3 batters for Erod. after he'd walked one batter in his previous 3 starts combined. So maybe the control not exactly pinpoint so far today.
I guess if you're looking for a positive, when he's missed in his favor. He hasn't left anything over the heart of the plate with the exception of that Burleson line drive into center field.
Runs the 4-seamer in there on Jordan. Now it's another full count. He had 2 of these in the second. Walked Nootbaar pretty quickly. Now a full count on Jordan with Weatherholt on deck. 37 pitches for Erod. So far he's thrown more balls than strikes. There goes Nootbaar. And Jordan lifts it to center. Diving attempt there by Waldy is no good. Nootbaar is going to come around and score. Jordan chugging into third, and he's in there with an RBI triple. Boy, Ryan Waldschmidt gave it the old college try, laid out as best he could out there in deep left center, but just couldn't quite get there. And the Cardinals strike first.
Yeah, it didn't sound like the ball was hit right on the button. It really dived quickly out there on Waldy, but he made a great effort to try to get to that ball right there. Didn't miss it by much. Oh.
So a leadoff walk comes around to scores. Yrefry gets us the slow-mo look. Jordan gets his second triple this year. I think Brian Kaplan's seeing the same things that we are. The command not quite what we've come to expect from Erod in this All-Star season. So it's time for the pitching coach to get out there.
Especially moving forward, Erod this year has given up 12 earned runs in the first inning. He's given up 17 earned runs in innings 2 through 7. So usually if he gets through that first inning, he settles in nicely and holds the opposition down, but he's kind of lost his command here in the last 4 batters.
One of the things that Torey Lovullo often talks about with Erod this year is his amazing ability to make in-game adjustments. And if something's not working, he usually has a B solution or a C solution or some kind of backup plan that he can go to, but he might still be looking for it here. But bring the infield in now with Weatherholt up there. A run home and Jordan at third base. Hopefully Ryan Waldschmidt wasn't too shaken up out there in center field on that diving attempt. I mean, he really laid out. Doesn't look all that comfortable out there.
Boy, as hard as he hit the ground, I would guess it knocked the wind out of him momentarily. He's still gasping for air out there in center field.
Wouldn't doubt it. I just got Waldy back after he had to sit out briefly in the Dodgers series when he tried to make that bunt attempt that went off his thumb. Of course, they're without Tommy Troy now with that sprained AC joint in his shoulder, who got injured in that same Dodger Stadium series. Tommy's going to be out a month as Weatherholt slaps it into left for a 2-0 Cardinal lead. First 3 aboard in the St. Louis third.
I'll tell you, we were familiar with Weatherholt and the numbers he's putting up this year and his charge toward Rookie of the Year, but seeing him live on a daily basis, this kid's a good hitter. Saw that hole on the left side of the infield with everybody drawn in. He just let that ball get deep in the zone and slapped it through that left side.
Yeah, he's done just fine this year against left-handers as well. He's been on base throughout this series. That's his 5th hit in the series. Ivan Herrera, the catcher, looks at a fastball for a strike. Erod faced this Cardinals lineup when we were at St. Louis late last month, and he was outstanding. 6 2/3 scoreless, gave up only 3 hits. Different story here today. We talked earlier about him shaking off those early troubles if he does get knocked around a bit early in the game. That happened last Friday at Dodger Stadium, of course, when he got ambushed for those 2 leadoff home runs. Ohtani and Paez both homered in the bottom of the Dodger first. He brushed those aside and pitched scoreless baseball the rest of the way. So we know it's in there. He's been doing it all year. Didn't go, says Chad Fairchild. Another 3-ball count. That's the 3rd in this inning for Erod, with the Major League's RBI leader waiting on deck. Herrera lifts this one high and foul down the left field line. Herrera tap back to the mound his first time up. The All-Star matchup of All-Stars for the National League squad right here. 46 pitches, only half for strikes. Erod has held his opponent to 2 runs or fewer in 12 of his last 14 starts, so he's already at that 2-run limit, if you will, including his last 6. Now the 3-2. Now another check on Weatherholt. That's the second disengagement.
Yeah, many times the determining factor whether that runner at first is going to go on the 3-2 pitch is the hitter at the plate. Does he strike out? Does he stay in the zone? Will he chase? Will he take a ball 4? Herrera strikes out a bunch.
His bat has gone cold over the last several weeks. Weatherholt on the run. That's fouled away. Herrera, when he's been healthy the last 2 years, has been a critical bat in this lineup, but he's really cooled off. Last 21 games, he's hit 156. He does not have a hit in this series. He's 0 for 10. Locklear holding Weatherholt on the bag at first. There he goes. That's another foul ball. Pitch count climbing quickly here. Weatherholt's been a base stealer. He's 9 for 9 in his stolen base attempts. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat after 3 consecutive fastballs to Ivan Herrera.
If you're looking at the bullpen usage, 5 guys in game 1, 5 guys in game 2, but nobody was really overextended. Nobody went more than 1 inning.
He's kept what we refer to as the A bullpen pretty busy, though.
Oh, yeah.
Ginkel and Murillo and Clark, Sewald twice, Ginkel twice, Loaizaga, Garcia both pitched last night. Garcia's pitched in both the first 2 games of this series as well. Weatherholt off and running again, perfectly executed by the Cardinals. He knocks it into right, and Weatherholt's in at third. Still no outs, and here comes Jordan Walker, the home run derby champ.
A lot of base hits up the middle into the opposite field against Erod today. You see Cattell breaking to cover the bag there on the steal attempt, and Herrera took advantage and banged one through Gabby Lane over there.
Erod in the deep end of the pool now, and the water's rising up around him. This is not a situation in which you want to find yourself, facing Jordan Walker, the Major League's RBI leader. 2 runs home for St. Louis, 2 on and nobody out, and Walker drives this deep to left center. High off the wall. Weatherholt will score. They'll stop Herrera. Walker's in at second with an RBI double. That's 4 consecutive hits for the Cardinals and a 3-0 St. Louis lead.
Walker wasting no time out there this time. Unfortunately, he left it right in the middle of the plate. Looked like he tried to throw a backdoor cutter that just caught too much of the strike zone, and Walker bangs it off the base of the fence out there and left.
76 RBIs for Jordan Walker. The first 5 in this third have reached. He's yet to record an out. Second and third, 3-0 now. Here's Nelson Velasquez, who struck out looking in the second. Rodriguez on the ropes. Bullpen still quiet behind him. Ivan Herrera, the runner at third base. Jordan Walker at second. Swing and a miss on an 0-1 fastball, and it's 0-2 on Nelson Velasquez. His first appearance in this series. Old coaching staff, eagle eyes on Erod. Cutter didn't quite get there. Velasquez wouldn't chase it.
That's the one he tried to throw to Walker. That backdoor cutter just started over in that left-handed batter's box. Tried to nip the outside corner. That time he missed further away. On the one to Walker, was right down the middle.
Runs the four-seam in now. It's 2-2. Pitch count is going through the roof at this point. And there's more trouble behind Velasquez. Alec Burleson, who singled his first time today. Pop Warner coaching at third. Velasquez got called up at the end of May. He homered in his Cardinal debut to beat the Cubs. He's been getting looks at DH, both corner outfield spots, usually only against left-handers like today. Got him on the changeup. Third strikeout for Erod, and that's his first out into third. Now you deal with Burleson.
Another good changeup. He's kind of put that in his back pocket since that first inning. He's been throwing a lot more cutters. He's tried to throw a couple of sinkers here and there, some elevated four-seamers, but haven't seen as many changeups as we did early.
Burleson already 4 hits in the series. Infield is in. There's the strike with a sinker and a challenge.
The pitch is called a strike. The batter is challenging.
Tyler Jones, the plate umpire today. T-Mobile gives us a look.
Pitch is a strike. St. Louis has 1 challenge remaining.
So Burleson, smelling a big inning here, takes a risk but loses the challenge. It's an 0-1 count. There's Ollie Marmol, the manager. Remember, Burleson does nearly all his damage against right-handers. 277 on the year. He's about 190 versus lefties, but he's 1 for 1 so far against Erod today. And he's 2 for 2. Knocked into center. Herrera's home. They will wave Walker. It's a 5-run St. Louis third.
They're going to have to get that bullpen going. I mean, a couple of hitters here and there. Okay, maybe he lost the feel for this pitch or lost the feel for that pitch or made a mistake, but they're getting to him pretty good right now.
5 hits and a walk against Erod in this inning. Mason Wynn is the 8th man to bat for the Cardinals in this third. And we mentioned how good Eduardo has been, the 4th lowest ERA among all major league starters. 5 runs is the most he's given up in any game this year. And he's still with 1 out in the third. Wynn walked his first time. High in the air along the line in right for Corbin. Might have room here. Into the netting.
Nice.
And he's got it. What a catch by Corbin Carroll. Chad Fairchild, first base up, running up that line, said it didn't hit the netting high above. And Corbin has the second out.
I didn't think he had any chance to get to that ball down the right field line off the bat of a right-hander. It figures to be slicing away from Corbin, but he did not give up on it and catches it right into the net.
An all-star catch from an all-star this year. 9th man to bat in the third is the Cardinal center fielder Jose Fermin, who hit into a double play to end the second. Fermin started the first 2 games of this series at third base, but moves out to center for this one. That's the kind of player he is. He plays everywhere on the field for Ollie Marmol. 36th pitch of this inning from Eduardo Rodriguez on the way. Activity now in the bullpen. Locklear, foul ground, and he almost went down the steps. Tyler Locklear tried to make the basket catch near the railing and the steps over by the Cardinal dugout and almost took a tumble here. This is dangerous.
Right at the opening there. If it's near where the fence is, at least you can go over and lean on the fence and lean over and try to make the play, but he was right at the opening of the dugout right there. Nothing he could do.
That was very dangerous for Tyler, considering that terrible injury he had last September. Just got healthy again. So Dre Jameson getting loose of the bullpen. 65 pitches through 2 2/3. Cardinals 5 runs, 6 hits.
You mentioned it earlier, the adjustments that Erod's been able to make during the course of the ball game. Going to have to find a plan B quickly here.
Yeah. Diamondbacks 11-3 in his last 14 starts, but this one's going to be a battle. That's headed for radio. Nearly hit Mike Farron and Cole Tucker. Cole was ready.
Cole's always ready.
And those infielder hands working. Cole working Diamondback radio for this series and this whole homestand. Here he is with Mike Farron, overseen by Leo Gilmartin, of course. Don't mess the hair. That's what's important. Mean reaches out and pokes it into left, and the Cardinals have batted around. 6 hits in the inning, and that's going to do it, it looks like. In his first start since his all-star appearance, Eduardo Rodriguez will not survive the third. And it's a bullpen game from here on out. Dre Jameson on his way in. And Lars Nootbaar, who started off this inning with a base on balls, will be the hitter. 5 runs home for St. Louis. And we'll take a break. Trying to get that final out. He worked a scoreless 8th and 9th in San Diego. And that opener against the Padres. Then got the final 3 outs Friday at Dodger Stadium. Dre's 11th appearance of the year. He can give them some length, not a ton, but he can probably get you 6 outs.
He's gone an inning and 2/3 or more in 5 of his 10 appearances this year. I'm sure that's what Torre is hoping for. Give him a couple, 3 innings here in the middle of the ball game.
Yep. He's trying to get out of this nightmare third. They batted around. Here's Nootbaar, who started off this inning with a base on balls. 5 runs home for St. Louis. 6 hits in the inning. Sinker is low. Of course, every time Dre gets out there, you have to check out the footwear. Do you go Pokemon? Does he go Scooby-Doo? Simpsons?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Yeah, it's a wide variety. And the slider's in there for a strike. Let's see. There's a cartoon on the other one. Oh, there it is.
On the heel. Yeah.
Jimmy Neutron today. That's a new one. I know that the folks at New Balance had mentioned to him a while ago that you just can't cover up the logo. Put the cartoons on there. Just let us see the N on the side. Of course, that's Jimmy Neutron. I recognize that right away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There it is. It's got Dre's name on the back. Red shoelaces. 3-1 now on Nootbaar. He's already walked once. Blaze Jordan, the rookie third baseman, on deck behind him. Jordan had an RBI triple earlier in this inning. Burleson at second and Fairmead at first. Dre's fastball. We all, when he first came up, it was let's watch the radar gun throw 100 and 101 up there. But now that he's recovered from some arm problems, he sort of pitches backwards.
Yeah, almost to excess. I mean, I think occasionally he kind of forgets about that big fastball that he can throw right by most major league hitters, especially if he hits his spots. But he's been throwing a lot of sliders and changeups.
Runners on the move. Spikes a changeup there. Nootbaar walks for the second time. So Burleson now at third. Fairmead is at second. Nootbaar at first. And here's Jordan.
Yeah, it really spikes it over in that left-handed batter's box. Gabby with a backhand attempt that time. Could not come up with a clean.
Ball 4 anyway. So no more damage done on the spike pitch that got behind Gabby. But here's Jordan now, the rookie. And he tries to split the gap. Kepler trying to get there first, and he's able to run it down. It's a 5 spot in the St. Louis third, and some work to do for the Diamondbacks.
So well, it shocks you. Today it shocked me how many times Eduardo missed his location and gave up base hits. I mean, a couple right in the middle of the strike zone, one up and out over the plate, one down, a couple down over the middle of the plate. That one odd one out there off the outside corner, but too many mistakes over the heart of the plate for Erod today.
StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. On the other hand, you've got Andre Palante, who has got 6 outs on just 23 pitches. And the former Cardinal Nolan Arenado starts off the Diamondback third, down 5-0. And Nolan goes into this game today only 2 hits shy of 2,000 for the career.
I know there's at least one Diamondbacks fan really rooting for Nolan today to get those 2 hits. Our good friend and huge Diamondbacks fan, Kathy Hunt, up in Cave Creek, Arizona, celebrating a birthday today. And when I asked her, what do you want for your birthday? She said, I want to see Nolan get his 2 hits and get to 2,000 on my birthday.
All right, Kathy. Well, happy birthday. Nolan had hits in his first 2 at-bats here yesterday, a single and a 2-run double. And he has said he tries not to get too caught up in the whole thing about 2000, and frankly, in typical Arenado fashion, would love to get it done as soon as possible and just got to move on from that. Yes, he went, says Chad Fairchild, who rings him up. Second strikeout for Palante.
I think it's probably a lot like when a guy is on a hitting streak, and that's all the reporters and all the teammates want to talk about. How about that hitting streak? Are you going to get another one tomorrow? You start thinking about it too much instead of just going to the plate and doing what you know how to do and reacting to what you see.
Everybody has their own narrative, and it's sort of a series of endless questions. Adrian Del Castillo is back, and he's the DH today. Came in from Salt Lake, where he played Friday night for Reno. Recalled yesterday when Gurriel was on the injured list with that right adductor strain. 185 and 5 homers for Del, who was on an absolute tear with the Aces last week. 6 games with Reno this month. Del had 5 doubles, homered twice, and knocked in 5 runs. So here you are. Get him up here.
I mentioned it before. That's where you have kind of like interchangeable parts, so to speak, because guys have options left.
Yeah.
I mean, not to put a curse on him or anything, but if ADC struggles in his playing time up here at the major league level and Lou James Groover's raking down in Reno, it's easy to flip those 2 guys because they both have options left.
They really like Del's bat, and he'll be in the catching mix too, but he's going to be primarily the DH against righties like today. But they felt with, he's a rhythm swinger. They want the timing to stay where it needs to be, so he needed every day at bats. It wasn't happening here. Here's a broken bat under Jordan's glove, and he's got it for the second out. So hopefully some consistent ABs will keep that timing where it is.
Yeah. Hey fans, if the D-backs hit a home run today, you score a free Jumbo Jack at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink.
Well, Waldy appears to have recovered from that diving attempt in the outfield in the top half of this inning. Palante trying to go 9 up, 9 down the first time through this lineup. Waldschmidt batting 9th. Doubled into right center in the 4th yesterday in the Diamondbacks win, 5-3. Palante just pounding the zone. Andre Palante 6-2 in his last 9 starts. He's been pitching very well, including a win over the Diamondbacks in St. Louis back on June 22nd. One more look. Where'd that get him? Back foot, maybe?
Back foot, maybe hit the ground and came up and caught him in the ankle. Fortunately, not a direct hit.
Curveball missed up high. Palante was very good against the Diamondbacks last month. 1 run, 6 innings. Made it 4 straight starts with the victory for him. He's had a good year. Waldy lifts it to short right center. Jose Fermin is out there today. And Palante has set down the first 9 and leads it 5-0. They're at home in Sacramento against the Nationals. And oh, by the way, the Boston Red Sox, led by their ace video man Michael Brenly, beat Tampa Bay today 6-1. The Red Sox have won 13 games in a row.
They are rolling right now.
Boston's first 13-game winning streak since 1948. It's a long time at Fenway Park. Gabby will challenge the Tyler Jones call here.
Pitch with a strike. Arizona has 2 challenges remaining.
I find it kind of interesting that the Diamondbacks have the fewest challenges in the major leagues.
They're trying to use them judiciously.
Very much so. I mean, that was 170 right there on the season.
Really, that many?
Yeah.
Wow.
How about this, though? William Contreras has had 114 by himself.
Well, there's so much strategery that goes into that in terms of when to use them. You want to wait to you can flip an important count, usually with men on base, unless you're absolutely sure, like Gabby obviously was that last time. J.J. Weatherholt leads off the 4th after a 5-run Cardinal 3rd. Ivan Herrera's on deck behind him. Ray Jamison on in relief of Eduardo Rodriguez, who got knocked around quite a bit. Erod went 2 2/3 in his first start after the All-Star game. 5 earned runs, 7 hits. And did not survive that 3rd. Dre came on to get the final out. Now back out to start the 4th. Diamondbacks would like to keep this momentum going that launched them into the All-Star break, coming off that sweep in LA. They got the win last night, able to brush aside that Friday fiasco. And in the last 6 games, of which they've won 5, they've made up 4 full games in the wild card chase. So they very much have the momentum going in the right direction. But a stumble here by their All-Star lefty, and Gabby will challenge again.
Call the ball. The pitcher's challenging.
Tyler Jones has had let's call it an interesting strike zone.
Pitch to the strike. Arizona has 2 remaining.
So Gabby gets 2 calls flipped in that at bat, and it works out to a strikeout of Weatherholt.
Gabby's and the Diamondbacks catching core sneaking up on 70% overturned. That would be number 3 in the major leagues. Gabby's done a great job on those borderline pitches.
And you don't want to be out of challenges by the time you get to that 8th or 9th inning when you really need them. Cardinals are already down 1. Here's Herrera, who singled in that 5-run 3rd. One foul away. That sinker at 97 from Dre Jamison. Dre, of course, Tommy John surgery late in the 23 season. UCL got replaced. They added the protective brace that kept him out all of 24. Dealt with a bone spur in that elbow last year. High chopper to short. Perdomo's got it. And that's 2 outs in the 4th. Hey fans, you can score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats, hoodies, the whole thing, they've got you covered. MLBshop.com/Diamondbacks, the official source for your Arizona Diamondbacks gear. Everybody today wearing the Baxter cap, the Baxter ears cap on Baxter's birthday today, which I found a little confusing, frankly. He's got all his mascot buddies around him singing him happy birthday, yet they're not allowed to talk, so I'm not sure what happened there. So a nice inning there by Dre Jamison. Time to get it going again. Ketel Marte. Carroll, Ketel Marte looking for their first base hit against Andre Pallante, who beat the Diamondbacks in St. Louis last month and leads this one 5-0. They've yet to solve Pallante. Marte, who grounded out to lead off the game, leads off the 4th. Pallante began July with 5 2/3 scoreless. He beat the Cubs, but he really got knocked around his last time out. That was 10 days ago, so he was coming off an extended layoff here. Got beaten by the Brewers at Busch Stadium. 6 runs, 8 hits, and 5. He's been a whole lot better than that so far.
I'm trying to think of who Pallante's delivery reminds me of back in my day. Rick Sutcliffe used to have a high front side with his left hand and his glove up in the air, throwing arm to follow. Very distracting.
Well, Sut, you see how Palante holds the ball behind him. Sut used to do that a lot. And, you know, kind of, I guess, try to hide it behind the leg. You didn't want to give him too good a look at it. But Sut had that similar move when the baseball goes sort of down toward his foot and then comes back up. Right about there.
Yeah, extends that arm out the back below his waist. Rick Sutcliffe, towards the end of his career, you could count on a 3.5-hour game if he started. He took so much time between pitches, and after our careers were over, I had a chance to talk to him. I said, what was the deal with that? He said, Bobby, it took that long for my arm to stop hurting between pitches.
He's a beauty. I got to work with Sut for a while.
Yep.
He's one of the all-time great guys. 3-2 on Cattell. Perdomo on deck. Then it's Corbin Carroll. Palante picks up his 3rd strikeout. He's retired the first 10.
The D-backs look like they need something to wake up here today. Kind of without the errors and the misplays, this kind of looks like Friday's game. Just a little flat. Of course, when you're not getting runners on base and not getting base hits, every team looks flat.
Palante's got the momentum at a 5-0 lead. Perdomo lined out to first his first time. Watching Palante dominate here. This is a guy who was a .500 pitcher 2 years ago, and then last season went 6-15. Made 31 starts for the Cardinals last year. Lost nearly half of them. Slider's in there for a strike. And Ollie Marmol had said, if you look at Palante, this is a guy who's a reminder for everyone of the importance of giving people a chance, because, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, the coaches would gather around and say, is this his last start? I mean, he was on the cusp of being let go. We got to do something with this guy. But they've run him out there. They've given him the opportunity to show that he's capable of doing these kinds of things, and they've given him the room to grow, and Marmol's pretty proud of that. And it certainly benefited the Cardinals. I mean, if you've got the coaches all huddled up in the office going, what do we do with this guy? That's not a good situation in which to find yourself.
Usually not a good sign.
No. 6-15 in 31 starts. That's going to create some consternation of the coaching staff. He's figured some things out. Changed the mix a little bit. Gone more sinker slider. And that's exactly what he does. He gets a lot of ground ball outs.
Yep.
He's set down the first 11. Corbin Carroll now. Corbin struck out in the first. You know who went through a similar thing that situation Palante was in last year was Merrill Kelly.
Yeah, there you go.
Remember when Merrill first came over from Korea? Torrey called him into the office and said, right now, statistically, you're the worst pitcher in the major leagues. And he was. But Merrill figured it out quickly. Now he's one of the best. And they've given Palante that opportunity here, and he's made the most of it, as Merrill did. Ball and a strike on Corbin. Couldn't check on that curveball. They'll throw that both to right-handers and lefties. That's a pretty consistent pitch in his arsenal. He's got a splitter that he saves only for the left-handers, and we might see it right here in a 2-strike count. Trying the fastball up. That's the book on Corbin right now. As we know, we've seen that the last 6-8 weeks. 50 pitches, 30 strikes. He has punched out 3. He's not walked a batter. Again, fastball at the belt. Moreno would be next.
Diamondbacks have only had 1 out that made it to the outfield so far in the game. 1 pop up to third, a line out to first, 5 ground outs, 3 strikeouts, and 1 fly ball out to the outfield.
You were saying,
get up, ball.
They're named to center, and it's off the wall. Corbin Carroll breaks the seal. It's a 2-out double. And Corbin starting to make more noise with that bat. And maybe just in time. Well, you teed that one up beautifully.
That was that splitter working its way down and away from Corbin. He stayed right on it and got the barrel on it to center field. He always thinks about going to third, but he's also smart enough to recognize that he's in scoring position at second base. If I'm not sure I'm going to make it to third, I need to stay right here in scoring position.
And he's got the hottest hitter on deck behind him in Moreno. That D-backs double gets you $15 off your next Uber Eats order of $30 or more. Just use the code D-backs 2026. Gabby grounded out his first time. Sliders a strike.
You know, I think if there were one out in the inning, you would have seen Corbin try to go for three. The throw back into the infield from Fermin was way to the right of the cutoff man. He was running dead sprint to his right to get that throw. I don't think he would have been able to uncork a good throw to third base from where he was. But like I said, that's smart base running. No sense making an out at third base when you're trailing by 5.
Plenty of room over at Gabby Lane. Weatherholt is up the middle at second base. Burleson off the bag at first, but there's room over there. Short right for Nootbaar. And they strand their first hit. That 2-out double through 4. Diamondbacks down 5-0. The Diamondbacks Baseball Network is presented by Progressive. And everybody stays safe thanks to that netting. And Corbin's 2-out double, their only hit so far. They trail it 5-0 after 4. Trey Jamison has set down 4 in a row in relief of Eduardo Rodriguez, who did not survive the third. A rough one for Erod today. 5 runs in 2 2/3. And Nelson Velasquez, the left fielder, starts off the St. Louis 5th. That slider working, it's 0-2. Velasquez has been up twice. He struck out twice, and now he's in an 0-2 hole. Velasquez has had an interesting journey. He was originally signed out of Puerto Rico by the Cubs, and when he was in their minor league system, he was an Arizona Fall League MVP. Hit 385 with Mesa back in 2021. He's bounced around for a while. Cubs, the Royals, got released and was playing independent ball in Mexico for a while. Started banging the ball around there. The Pirates took notice. They signed him. Eventually wound up with the Cardinals, and now here he is. 27-year-old rookie. Alec Burleson on deck. It's 2-2 on Nelson Velasquez. It is interesting to see Dre throw so few fastballs. I remember when he first came up, first round pick at a Ball State, as everyone, well, you got to see this kid.
He's blowing people away left and right.
There's that hard slider at 88. Velasquez strikes out for the 3rd time, and Jamison has set down 5 in a row. Let's check in with Andrew, the home buyer.
Catch the best deal for your house by calling me, Andrew, the home buyer.
Second strikeout for Dre. 1 down for Burleson, who went single twice and knocked in 2 runs. Sinker got away there. Alec Burleson and Jordan Walker both over the 100 hits mark for the season. And they've done that before 100 games. And Burleson's having himself a day. He's 3 for 3. This guy can really hit.
Don't forget, fans, a big jackpot today, over $28,000 in our Diamondbacks Give Back 50-50 raffle, and the proceeds all weekend going to benefit Venezuelan earthquake relief efforts. You can get 602 numbers for $100. The Brenly special, divided amongst your neighbors and such, but all kinds of options. Our staff here working hard at the ballpark as Mason Wynn steps in. Diamondbacks honoring their extensive ties to the Venezuelan community with our 50-50 give back. The Diamondback portion of the 50-50 all goes to the Venezuelan relief efforts. Had a big jackpot here last night. Short left. Kepler coming in. And there's 2 outs in the 5th.
Love to see a quick out right here. Get your team back in the dugout once again. Finally broke through against Palante with the first hit of the game by Corbin Carroll. Get him back in there swinging the bats again quickly.
Fermin has singled. He's hit into a double play. Jamison doing a nice job here getting them some length. Dre 30 pitches, 18 strikes. Usually the way Torey Lovullo looks at these situations, he looks for a guy that can be a 1+ and said, just get me into or through the 6th. And then it sort of becomes a normal bullpen game again. If you got a bulk guy that can get you, be that bridge to the short start in the back of the bullpen. And that's sort of the role Dre's been taking on this year.
And many times you'll see a starting pitcher that's perhaps struggled or maybe coming back from an injury and not quite ready to throw a complete game yet, but he's good enough to give you 2 or 3 or 4 innings in the middle of the game. That's why many times you find starters as a long guy in that pen.
High strike call there. No challenge for Fermin. Tyler Jones has had a big zone back there today. That was looked like it was a ball, but instead it's strike 2.
That used to be standard operating procedure on getaway days because the umpires have to catch a flight too.
That's the general consensus about ABS, is that it's forcing pitchers back into the strike zone, which I guess means that batters get more good pitches to hit and the games move along a little quicker. Dre overcooked that sinker a bit. It's full on Fermin, 3-2. Lars Nootbaar on deck. Nootbaar's walked twice. Philip Abner, the left-hander, will start to get loose in the Diamondback bullpen. There goes Burleson from first, and Dre lost the feel for that slider. He's walked 2 now. A pair of 2-out base runners now for Nootbaar. Second walk issued by Dre, struck out 2. He's only given up the 1 hit, the Burleson single. And that's not Boo, they're saying, it's Lars. That's actually Newt.
I've joked in the past, I wish my parents would have named me Lou. They're not booing Brenly, they're calling him Lou.
Come on down to Lou Brenly Chevrolet, we'll give you a deal. Lars Nootbaar's name comes from the Dutch side of the family, the Netherlands, the whole thing. His mom full-blooded Japanese, so he was a big star for Team Japan in the World Baseball Classic several years back. He's from El Segundo, California. Played at USC. Burleson at second, Fermin at first. 2-1 and 2 outs for Jamison, trying to get out of this thing, and the changeup lands for strike 2. Dre came on to get the final out of the 3rd. Worked a 1-2-3 4th, and now looking to finish the 5th. Blaze Jordan would be next, the third baseman. Dre's at 40 pitches now, 22 strikes. Abner in the Sanderson Ford bullpen, a left-hander. Looks like he's set to go. Getting ready perhaps for Weatherholt. Hopefully we don't get that far in this inning. And it's another full count, back-to-back 3-2 counts for Dre. And Jordan, the right-hand batter, on deck. 3-2 to Lars Nootbaar. Runners on the move. And that's back-to-back 2-out walks for Dre. Now the bases are loaded in the fifth. And that's it for Torey Lovullo. He's going to get Abner in here to face the right-hander Jordan. Pitch count up over 40, past the comfort zone perhaps, and the wheels have come off a bit here in the fifth. Rough one today, down 5-0. Back with more after this.
Arizona.
Well, there's Dre Jameson checking in with both Max Esposito, and the whole training staff is over there. Ryan DePanfilo having a conversation with Dre with his back to you there. So Dre checking in with the athletic training staff as Philip Abner comes in his fifth appearance of the year. He's not pitched since that Saturday game, the win over the Dodgers in LA. So it's been about 10 days or so. He'll face the right-hand batting Blaze Jordan with 2 outs and the bases full of Cardinals. They have Burleson at third base, Fermin at second, and Nootbaar, who's walked 3 times today at first.
Abner, another guy that can give you multiple innings if necessary. He only pitched 4 times, but 2 of those he's thrown 2 1/3 or more.
Cardinals already 5 runs, 8 hits. Jordan has an RBI triple. He's also lined out 1 for 2. Jordan's been getting some looks at third base. They had Nolan Gorman, the Valley native, over there to start the year, but he struggled severely. They sent him to Jupiter to kind of rebuild his swing, and he's at AAA Memphis right now. So Fermin and Jordan getting some looks at third base for Ollie Marmol. That's fouled away. And Nolan Gorman's not played for the Cardinals since June 11th. And here's Jordan, a 3rd-round pick by the Red Sox out of high school in Mississippi, acquired at last year's deadline, and a deal for the pitcher Steven Matz. Fouled over there again. Look out in that Cardinal dugout.
That's what you call a defensive swing right there with a 2-strike count. Just get the bat on it. If it's close to the strike zone, you don't think you can take it. You just try to foul it away.
Dre responsible for 3 Cardinal base runners. Wow. Boy, Pop Warner at third had to hit the deck.
Yeah, we joked about this last night. I don't think we've seen a team this year hit as many foul balls as the Cardinals do.
They get the bat on the ball. It's what you want.
Yep.
Jordan, short right. It lands in front of Corbin. Burleson will score. They'll wave fair mean. Throws off line. And it's 7-0 St. Louis. Blaze Jordan's knocked in 3 runs.
The elevated four-seamer just didn't get it up there quite high enough to get the swing and a miss or a pop-up. Instead, Jordan lines it out there in front of Corbin Carroll. I think if his throw had been on line, they might have had a chance at the trail runner there, but throw sailed up the first baseline.
Newbar stops at second. Jordan aboard with his second RBI hit. And here is J.J. Weatherholt, the rookie second baseman, left on left. He jumps on the first one, skies it to center for Waldy. All the way back to the track. Cardinals tack on 2 more in the 5th, and they lead it 7-0.
Left elbow, as you mentioned, guys. He missed all of spring, the rest of that season. He did finish that game, by the way, and actually had an at-bat before it was all said and done. But I love what Torrey said about him today, that he thinks he's figured out his game and his routine now at the big league level, but clearly some growing pains early on when he was traded, and we saw him in September. But here he is back at the big league level and recovering from what went down that day against the Boston Red Sox.
It was amazing. That's 2 serious injuries on the same play. That's horrible. Max Kepler leads it off against Palante. Tyler had that surgery last October 16th, the UCL in the left elbow and that left labrum tear. Jose Fermin moves from center over to left field, replacing Nelson Velasquez, and Nathan Church takes over in center. And Kepler slaps it over the open space by third. And that's the second Diamondback hit against Andre Palante.
That's a start.
Yep.
Obviously, the first time the D-backs have had a leadoff man on in the ball game. Lets that ball get real deep in the hitting zone and just slaps it past the third baseman down there. Jordan playing over in the hole a little bit for Kepler, and he took advantage of that space between the third baseman and the foul line.
And here is Tyler Locklear, who tapped back to the mound his first time, his season debut today. Tyler acquired from the Mariners at last season's trade deadline in the deal that included Eugenio Suarez going to Seattle. Gino now, as we know, in Cincinnati. Tyler was doing so much damage at Reno, they had to get him up here. 6-game series against Round Rock last week. Locklear hit 4 doubles, bunch of homers, drove in 11 runs. It gets to the point that Todd was bringing up, that Torrey Lovello mentioned. I think that he's finally got a routine that he feels good about, feels comfortable, and thinks it'll translate at this level.
And especially coming off those injuries, I mean, it's going to change your pregame prep, especially when you've done nothing but rehab all winter long. Then you get back into baseball activities, and sometimes your swing is a little off. You know, your body's different now. You've had a couple of serious surgeries, and you got to make sure to work and get that swing where you want it.
Everybody, particularly hitters, always say that spring training is too long, but when a guy doesn't get a spring training, it's really a big hurdle to overcome.
Oh yeah.
It always seems to take them that much longer to get right again. Arenado on deck. 2-2 on Tyler Locklear. One offer at the curveball. Torrey Lovello is a big fan of Tyler Locklear. Likes the way he stays through the baseball really, really well. He can backspin the ball. He likes the swing plane, the bat angle. Everything is right where it should be. A young guy they think is going to keep developing.
See that helmet right there? That little clear plastic piece is where the jaw protector attaches to the helmet.
Right to Mason Wynn, the Gold Glover, smooth as silk down there, and Locklear hits into a double play. Mason Wynn, the Gold Glover. That's what Palante does, as we've discussed. He's not a strikeout pitcher, but he's got one of the best ground ball rates in the game. And
Just picked up 2 on the ground right there. Here's Arenado, who struck out to lead off the third.
Yeah, going back a few years since his debut in 2022, Palante has the highest ground ball rate in Major League Baseball among pitchers that have thrown 500 or more innings. That's his thing.
Ground ball rate of 55% going into the game, the second highest among all Major League starters, behind only Christopher Sanchez of the Phillies. One more ground ball out right to Jordan at third. And Andre Palante in the rocking chair with a 7-0 lead through 5. Supporting that program, I know Corbin Carroll is always heavily involved there. Well, 7-0 here. There's Corbin, who has one of their 2 hits, that double in the 4th. That's been it. They've been blank 7-0. Ivan Herrera starts off the Cardinals 6th against Philip Abner. St. Louis 7 runs, 9 hits. They get a 5-run third against Iran. Picked up 2 more in the 5th. Seems like the Diamondbacks today, a lot like Argentina, playing a man short.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Spain has scored, I'm told. That's in New York. Line to left, Max Kepler with a terrific rolling grab. Well, Max Kepler's really looked good defensively out there. Hopefully he's okay. Took a bit of a tumble.
Oh, it's hooking and sinking fast out there in shallow left field. Kepler closes ground, gets the glove underneath the baseball, and somehow manages to hold on as he rolls around and around out there in left field.
Watch him pull the glove up like that. I remember years ago, David Peralta made that same catch, and the glove hit the ground, bent it backwards, and he broke his wrist, and he wasn't the same for a year and a half. Terrific play there. Jordan Walker. Abner came on to get the final out of that 2-run St. Louis 5th. Back out there to start the 6th. Diamondback left-hander, 24 years old. Philip out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Diamondback 6th rounder 3 years ago. University of Florida. Pitched almost exclusively in relief for the Gators. One and 2 on Jordan Walker. Diamondbacks have done a pretty decent job containing Walker, who can be a one-man wrecking crew, of course. Nathan Church in the on-deck circle came into play center field. Walker in the series. He has walked. He's singled twice. He's got an RBI double. He's knocked in 2 runs. Now a career high 21 game on base streak. He's got 18 RBIs in those last 21 games. Wow. 3-2.
He's got such a unique batting style. He stands as straight up as you can possibly imagine as he's waiting for Abner to deliver the pitch. But as soon as that ball's in the air, he takes his stride and drops down into a very dangerous hitting position.
He really rebuilt his swing mechanics last year when he was scuffling. Hard to imagine that watching what he's done this year. He was struggling so badly at the plate last year that the Cardinals sent him back to their spring training facility midseason to rebuild his swing. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up right here. And Ollie Marmol says there are differences mechanically. It's not super noticeable. But the biggest difference, they think, is that the preparation and the combination of all those things has led to this breakout season for him. And the confidence certainly helps as well. He just turned 24 years old last May. But last year he'd kind of be leaning, lunging toward the ball, kind of all over the place. That's certainly calmed down. Pretty still and quiet up there, and he works a base on balls. One out base runner in the St. Louis sixth. We'll remind you, you can join the Diamondbacks Foundation in supporting our first responders with a purchase of a $50 raffle ticket. And you could win a new Mustang, Mach-E, or Ford Bronco. DBACS.com/heroes is the place to go. Get in there and you might win a car or a truck.
Nice.
Pretty good deal. 25 years of Heroes car raffle. First at bat today for Nathan Church. Took over in center field. 0 for 8 in the series.
I know Torrey's not going to be happy when this game's over, regardless of the final score, because of the walks. 6 walks already in the ball game for Diamondbacks pitchers. Nootbaar's walked 3 times by himself.
One of the first 5, 2 have scored. The other's down there at first right now, Walker. We talked a lot about the potential postseason tiebreaker with the Cardinals. You got to think in these kinds of terms, given the postseason structure. So if you lose this one today, the season series is tied 3-3 with 1 more to go. That's Thursday. So the tiebreaker will be on the line in that 1-game makeup game Thursday at Busch Stadium before that 3-city trip, which is now a 4-city trip. So that is shaping up to be a very big and potentially important game. Barring, of course, a miracle comeback, which is probably only moments away. There's the strikeout. Oh, there's 2 outs in the 6th. Abner gets Church. Well, the Cardinals from their cleanup spot have gone 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, yet they lead 7-0.
Yeah, such an odd looking box score. You mentioned Velasquez and Church in that 4 spot have struck out 4 times. I mentioned Nootbaar's walked 3 times in his 3 plate appearances.
And here's Burleson, who's had the big bat today. He's 3 for 3. 3 singles. He's knocked in 2 runs. He scored. Won his first career Silver Slugger Award last year, Alec Burleson. He's a guy that was playing around. He won the Silver Slugger Award at the utility spot last year. He's playing left field, right field, first base, DH. But this year he's pretty much been their everyday first baseman now that he's settled in. And St. Louis has really realigned its entire lineup. And everybody seemed to think they're going to trade Dustin May, yesterday's starter, at the trade deadline, to continue building this young core. Even though they are very much in the postseason picture here, holding on to that 3rd wild card. May had a rough night here yesterday. 5 runs all earned, 8 hits and 5. 1-2 slap foul right in front of Pop Warner down there.
He might have broken his bat right there, waiting for the bat boy to bring out plan B.
Burleson's done a nice job cutting down on his chase rate. Used to chase balls outside the zone. Doesn't do that nearly as much this year. Walk rate is up. And he's hitting the ball harder than ever before. Just keeps getting better and better at the age of 27. Up there in a 1-2 count. Mason Wynn, the shortstop, 0 for 2 with a walk on deck. Punch to left for Kepler. A little easier this time for Max. And Abner works a scoreless 6th. It's 7-0 St. Louis. Grace along the way as well. Diamondbacks on the wrong end of a 7-0 score. Adrian Del Castillo starts off the bottom of the 6th. Dell is the DH. He popped out his first time against Andre Palante, who has worked 5 scoreless innings And allowed only 2 hits. Palante has not walked a batter. He's punched out 3. A whole lot of ground ball outs for him. And Dell ropes this one to right. That's going to get to the wall. Del Castillo extra bases to start off the 6th. That's a double for Dell.
Loud contact that time. 103 miles an hour off the bat on that screaming line drive down into the right field corner.
Orthovello says they're going to drill him up at first base. He's a potential option there, but he's going to mostly be a DH against right-handers. But they really like the swing right now. The swing is on time. He can impact the baseball, so Dell can certainly contribute down the stretch here. Like he just did. He's at second, nobody out for Ryan Waldschmidt. Waldy flying out his first time. Like to start chipping away here at some point.
Yeah, you got 12 outs left to find a way to score 7 runs, or preferably 8 runs.
Ryan doubled in the 4th inning here yesterday. No activity in the Cardinal bullpen. Palante's only thrown 71 pitches. Shows how effective he can be when you locate the ball well, pound the zone, throw strikes, stay efficient, pitch deep into the game. Hasn't walked anybody. Waldschmidt drops it into short right. They'll stop Dell at third, and the kitty core is on the corners now for the top of the order.
That's a start.
Now it's Ketel Marte.
Nice approach there by the youngster Waldschmidt. I mean, Palante hasn't thrown a lot of cookies today. Pitches that are in the strike zone that you can really take a good hack at. If he needs to throw a strike, he's probably going to go away either with a fastball or a slider. Might as well take him the other way. Nice piece of hit.
Well, first 2 batters of this inning have doubled the Diamondback hit total for the ball game. A chance for Ketel, who's 0 for 2.
Yeah.
He rolls it into right center. Waldy flying into third. RBI for Ketel Marte, and the Diamondbacks are on the board. 3 consecutive hits open up the 6th. Nice aggressive base running by Waldschmidt as well. RBI for Marte. Let's see if the Cardinals want to get their bullpen up and working here.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, Palante's been really good today, no doubt about it, but he's usually a 5, maybe 6th inning pitcher. I think he's gone 7 innings 1 time this year. Might be getting near the end of his rope here.
Ivan Herrera out to have a quick chat. A chance for Jerry now. Perdomo 0 for 2. Long set by Palante. Campos looking for one of his many ground balls here. He's had 1 double play turn behind him. Perdomo does not have a hit in the series. He has walked 3 times. Dell got it started with that double. He got a fastball right down Broadway at 96. That might have surprised him. Palante has thrown that 4-seam fastball less. It's never been a great pitch for him, but throwing it less often seems to make it more effective.
He's got a good one. 96 on that last fastball. A little extra ride on it.
Terry, did he check? He did. Brian Walsh at third says no. It's 2-1. That's the curveball. Final from the Meadowlands, if they still call it that. Spain has won the World Cup 1-0.
How about that?
Outshot Argentina 20-2. Ouch. Fastball's in there. It's 2-2. Boy, if you go up there against Palante looking sinker slider, and then he just throws a couple of 4-seamers by you, that's easy to see. It's a little bit of a sneak attack here. Yeah, just filling it up with four-seam fastballs. That's kind of off the menu for him. He's throwing 4 of them now in this at bat to Perdomo. One curveball mixed in the middle here. 2-2 on Jerry. Waldschmidt at third, Marte at first.
Another four-seamer.
Veteran Ryan Stanek is starting to loosen up in the Cardinal bullpen. These are all in the zone too. Waldschmidt the runner at third base. Marte's at first. Trying to get him to look at that curve, and Jerry able to check. It's a full count. Corbin Carroll on deck. Corbin doubled off the wall in center his last time. First time they really made Palante work. 8th pitch of the at-bat right here. Marte holds, and Perdomo walks again. The first 4 have reached in the 6th. And here comes Corbin Carroll. Boy, that's a typical Perdomo at bat. Fouled off a whole bunch of fastballs. Let the knuckle curveball go by. Didn't bite on the four-seam, and now a chance for Corbin. As Dusty Blake makes the slow walk to the mound, maybe trying to give Ryan Stanek some more time down there. That's the first walk issued by Palante today. Time now to check in with Tim Hovik and Santan Ford.
Zach wants a D-back dog. And a soda.
Do you guys ever talk normal?
We are.
I think it's talk normally, wouldn't it? Zach Gallen, the silent Bob of the Tim Hovik series. Well, you want to get back in this thing, you got a golden opportunity right here.
Yes, indeed.
Corbin slammed a double high off the center field wall his last time up. You see the numbers: career 5 grand slams. Waldschmidt is at third base. Marte's at second. Perdomo aboard at first.
T1 up right here.
Diamondbacks only have 5 hits in the game, but 3 of them in this inning. Got that four-seamer in there. He's going to see fastballs at the belt or above. That's been the theme. Can't spell Corbin without RBI. Oh, that's kind of neat.
That is really good.
That's good work right there. You know, spelling.
Easier than math.
Always. With Palante in this sequence here, and saw the same thing with Perdomo leaning suddenly on that four-seam fastball as he works through this lineup for the 3rd time. Oh, 2. Short center. Church coming in. Win going out. And that's the first down in the inning, and it's a big one for Palante. Stanek still warming up. And Moreno is the hitter. And we'll stick with Palante for the time being. It's up to Gabby, the hottest hitter in this lineup. He has grounded out, flied out, 0 for 2. He's hit in 9 straight games, 13 of his last 14.
Boy, and once again, the Cardinals shift their outfield around to the opposite side. Nootbaar cheating over toward the right field foul line a little bit. Church in center, shaded over to right center, and Fermin way off the line in left field.
Gabby pulls that ball down the line. It's 3 runs.
Yep.
Don't often root for Gabby to do that, but boy, that worked out beautifully right here. He's ahead of the count, 2 balls to no strikes. Kepler's on deck behind him, trying to get back in this thing here, down 7-1.
Sliders high, and it's 3-0. Kepler would be next. Max singled his last time up. Palante has already walked one in the inning. He's walked in a run. It clanks off the glove of Herrera as Waldschmidt comes across with a second run. A bases loaded walk for Gabby, and they need to get Palante out of there. Here comes Ollie Marmol. Kepler is going to get the big chance for the big swing. And Marmol not going to give Palante the chance. He's done here. He'll leave with the bases full, leading 7-2.
His 508th career Major League appearance, his 10th season, and his first with the Cardinals after signing as a free agent in January. 41 appearances this year, and the ERA over 4.5.
He strikes out a lot of guys. He also walks a lot of guys.
Trying to keep this inning going. It was 7-0. He got 2 home in the inning. Bases loaded, just 1 out. Marte is at third, Perdomo's at second, and Gabby Moreno's at first. Here's Kepler, the batter. The left fielder is 1 for 2, a single his last time up. One swing, and it's a ball game again. Stanek still throws hard. Fastballs upstairs for ball 1.
Yeah, 4-seamer, slider, occasional sinker, occasional splitter.
Out of Blue Valley High School in Stillwell, Kansas, Ryan Stanek. It's 2-0. Outfield is straight away. Infield is back. All fastballs from Stanek. Marte, Perdomo, Moreno, your runners third to first. Now the 2-1. Kepler fouled right behind Dave McKay with those quick feet down there at first. Tyler Locklear on deck. Tyler 0 for 2 in his season debut today. .99 that time. He really gassed it up.
Not a lot of body in his delivery. Really, he uses that quick slide step, which seems unnecessary with the bases loaded, but really unloads that ball quickly to home plate.
Another pop-up behind short. Mason Wynn hunting this one. Infield fly in effect. It's going to be up to Locklear here. Tyler, the 8th man to bat in the Diamondbacks 6th inning. He's 0 for 2.
You do have a couple of potential options off the bench. Barossa usually saved for defense late in the ball game or a pinch runner. Vargas is available off the bench as well, but Locklear will take the at bat here against Stanek.
Wait, Tyler's been swinging the bat at Reno, looking for that big 4-run homer. Palante responsible for all the runners out there. Got a golden opportunity here so far. Corbin has flied out. Moreno a base and loaded walk. Kepler popped out. Now it's up to Locklear. It's 3-0, and there's a challenge from Herrera.
Pitch is called a ball. The catcher's challenging.
Tyler Jones, the plate umpire. It looks like they might be out of challenges here, and they are.
Pitch is a ball. St. Louis is out of challenges.
Diamondbacks have already had one base loaded walk. That was the last one that Palante faced, the Moreno at bat. Now it's 3-0 on Locklear. And you've got Arenado on deck, the former Cardinal.
Light flashing red there, and there's your 3-0 strike.
I know this is a great hitter's count, but I'd take the next pitch even if it's right down the middle.
I'm with you.
2 outs. You got a guy struggling to find the strike zone out there. The runners would be in motion on a full count pitch.
And they've walked in another run, and Arenado has the big chance right here. 3 runs home in the inning, 3 walks in the inning by St. Louis pitchers, and what an opportunity here for Nolan, who has struck out and grounded out against Palante. Good at bat there by Locklear. Stanek having trouble finding it here. Arenado, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Stanek, 12 pitches, only 5 strikes. Arenado smothered at third by Jordan. Long throw. Pulls Burleson off the bag, but he's able to get the foot on there. And they leave him loaded, but the Diamondbacks get 3 across, and they trail it 7-3.
St. Louis, and then a late arrival to Dulles for 3 with Washington over the weekend, to Pittsburgh. Then I believe it's a bus trip to Cleveland. There's going to be rain involved. We know that. That's a big trip. And guys, I've already started packing. I know I'm not the only one. I don't have enough socks to cover that ground, so I'm shopping. But this is a monster of a road trip, that's for sure. After the Athletics roll in and get out of here.
Yeah, the Cardinals with that rain out in Michigan turned it into a 4-city trip.
Yep.
And that, unless something changes here today, will be the decisive game in this season series between these two. The Cardinals trying to even things up at 3 wins apiece. Mason Wynn, speaking of wins, leads off the 7th against Phillip Abner. D-Backs TV will have Chris Garagiola in this chair for that road trip. And Josh Coleman will be in your chair.
There you go.
Mike Farron will be handling the radio side of things, along with Tom Candiani. Center field for Ryan Waldschmidt. And there's one away in the 7th.
I'm a little worried about Todd's socks on the road trip. I mean, do they sell socks in St. Louis?
No, they actually don't. It's a geographical oddity. Everyone there just wears flip-flops year round. Soriano in the Cardinal bullpen. Here's Fermin, who has walked, singled, and hit into a double play. You could use the road trip. Jonan could relax at home and watch all the Star Wars movies.
Oh, I could.
You could. One could say that, but one shouldn't. Game of Thrones? Nice play there by Rick Clower, our Golden Glover down there. It's Baxter's birthday today. All his mascot buddies are here. The Baxter cap is popular with the youngsters. There's Baxter, the birthday boy. Looking good. There was a mascot soccer game before the game today. And amazingly, Baxter scored the game-winning goal. It did not go into penalty kicks. Baxter had the decisive goal.
I thought it was kind of funny when we had Gonzo up here the other day talking about his home run derby championship back in 02, I believe it was.
01.
01,
yeah.
okay.
He had quite a year that year.
Yeah, and one guy got a cheap trophy. The other guy got a world champion belt.
And Baxter is the mascot home run derby champion. I think Baxter had the advantage in that he had he has a suit, and there's the big winner. You see a lot of these mascots. I mean, the Philly Fanatic. That's a lot of material to work around.
Yeah.
There's Baxter on the shoulders of all his mascot buddies. Screech, the Fanatic is there. Pause from the Tigers. Celebration went well into the night. Bail had to be posted. And Abner walks Fermin.
See, this made Gonzo happy, though. He got to borrow
there you go.
the championship belt.
Grandpa Gonzo now.
Yeah.
Congratulations again to Gonzo. Brian Kaplan out to the mound to talk to Abner as Lars Newpar comes up. He has got his the Amarillo Sod Poodles mascot is here, along with some others. Sparky's here from ASU. Ruckus from the Sod Poodles. Taylor Clark warming up at the Diamondback bullpen.
Well, we have a moment here, partner. My staff, as usual, digging for some nuggets.
I think they're just trying to tunnel their way out, frankly. But okay.
The last Cardinal to hit for the cycle.
Oh, Matt Carpenter?
New.
Not Keith Hernandez.
New.
Nolan Arenado?
Yes.
Oh.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, back on July 1st, 2022 against the Phillies. Nolan hit for the cycle.
Well, he's only 4 hits away. Let's look at it that way. Newbar's been up there 3 times and walked 3 times. And he's ahead 1-0.
Fortunately, only scored after his first walk.
That was against Eduardo Rodriguez, who did not survive the 3rd today. Cardinals got 5 in the 3rd. Erod's first start after the All-Star appearance was a rough one. 5 runs all earned, 7 hits in 2 2/3. There's Taylor Clark in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Done doing his pregame interviews. Fastball's in there. Abner not a big hard thrower. Low 90s fastball. That one in there at 89. Blaze Jordan's had a big day, the rookie third baseman. A single, a triple. He's knocked in 3 runs. 2-2 on Newbar. Can he go 4 for 4 with the walks? Left field for Kepler.
I got greedy, has to try to get a hit.
Hit it to the one spot where there's sun on the field, so Max actually battling the sun on that one. There he is. That one ribbon of light. That's right where Newbar hit it. 2 outs now, and here is Blaze Jordan. Torey Lovullo out to the mound. Taylor Clark apparently on his way in, and we'll take a break from Chase Field.
The kids, bring them on out here. Let them have fun.
Your staff is already marking days off their calendar. They're going to bounce around. Here's Taylor Clark, who worked a scoreless 6th here in Friday's series opener. Taylor's 44th appearance of the year. Blaze Jordan, who has 2 hits and 3 RBIs, the batter. And he's got 3 hits. Brings up J.J. Weatherholtz. Blaze Jordan 3 for 4. Weatherholt an RBI single in that 5-run third. He's 1 for 4.
4 hits and 5 walks to the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the Cardinals lineup today.
Diamondback pitchers have issued 7 walks so far today. There means at second after a base on balls. Now Jordan at first. There's a strike to Weatherholt. Just about a week ago got the long-term contract from the Cardinals. 8 years, $112 million. They've got him under contract through 2034. Ollie Marmol pointed out when they signed him, he talked about the extension and locking someone down at this age. He's only, what, 23 years old. For that long a period of time, you're betting on the person. And you're betting on the consistency of the personality. You're betting on the work ethic. All the same things that Mike Hazen said when they signed Corbin Carroll to that long-term contract. And these two guys, Weatherholt and Corbin, seem to be built from that same mold. Weatherholt, a St. Louis first-round pick 2 years ago out of West Virginia. Corbin was going to go to Arizona State to play before he got drafted by the Diamondbacks, signed out of high school, of course. These two guys seem like they'll be perennial National League All-Stars. Weatherholt certainly a Rookie of the Year favorite to this point. Marte from second into the outfield grass. And Taylor Clark gets that third out. Time to stretch down 7-3. Now the Diamondbacks this weekend honoring our commitment to the Venezuelan community. Half the proceeds from this weekend's 50-50 going to benefit humanitarian aid to those impacted by the Venezuelan earthquakes, and our Diamondback Venezuelan players and coaches all participating as well. And UR fans, all funded by UR fans. Someone won a big jackpot last night. Got another good one going today at $38,000. And half that final total will go to benefit the humanitarian aid efforts in Venezuela. Adrian Del Castillo starts off the 7th against Ryan Stanek. Del started that 3-run 6th with a leadoff double. He's 1 for 2. Del played at Salt Lake with Reno Friday night and was hustled in here yesterday morning on the first flight out when Lourdes Gurriel Jr. went on the injured list with that adductor strain. Del was really heating up in Reno. 6 games for the Aces this month. He had 5 doubles, couple of home runs. 1 for 2 so far today. That one will drop for a hit. Adrian Del Castillo maybe getting something started again. That's how the 6th inning got going. And Del 2 for 3.
Stanek's not an easy guy to face. He's got good stuff, but he's rarely in the middle of the plate. He sprays it around pretty good. That time Del stays on a fastball and slices it down that left field line, rather, for me.
And Ollie Marmol running out to the mound to get Stanek out of there. They'll go back to the bullpen, and we'll take a break from Chase Field. Well, Ryan Stanek and his hair now back in the dugout after the leadoff single by Adrian Del Castillo. Here's the right-hander George Soriano, who has pitched the last 3 seasons in Miami, but this winter he was waived by the Marlins, waived by the Orioles, waived by the Braves, traded by the Nationals, and he's landed in St. Louis, and he's done a nice job. His 43rd appearance of the year.
Yeah, we saw him for a couple of outs in game 1. Struck out a batter, otherwise zeros across the board.
Ryan Waldschmidt singled and scored in that 3-run 6th. He's up there after the Dell single. Diamondbacks continue trying to chip away. They were down 7-0 after 5. They've been out hit 10-6. 2 of the runs scored in that 6th inning on bases loaded walks. Quick hands down there by J.R. House. 1-1 on Waldy. Soriano with that big sweeper kind of turns his back to the hitter way on the third base side of the rubber. Guessing with that approach it's hard to pick up the baseball.
Yeah, for a right-handed batter it probably looks like that sweeper's coming out of Soriano's hand behind you and then sweeping back toward the strike zone.
1-2 on Ryan Waldschmidt. Ketel Marte on deck. Waldy goes after that changeup. Soriano gets the first out. Wow, this thing really dropped. One away. Here's Marte. Ketel had an RBI single in that 3-run 6th. And he's 1 for 3. Swinging for the fences on that slider. Ketel in the series has singled 4 times. He's walked. A couple of RBIs. Soriano's getting a lot of swing and miss. Goes after Marte. Slider, changeup, and it's 0-2. Ketel gets under this one, short right for Nootbaar. That's the second out. Here comes Geraldo Perdomo.
Well, one thing that makes Soriano so tough out there on the mound, he throws his changeup, his four-seamer, and his slider in almost equal amounts. He also has a sweeper and a sinker, but he might throw anything in any count to any hitter.
And Marte went slider, changeup, fastball, so you don't see the same pitch twice. Terry walked his last time up, spits on that down slider. Perdomo still looking for his first base hit in the series. He's walked 4 times.
Well, one thing we were really hoping the D-backs would be able to take advantage of today is Herrera behind the plate and his inability to throw out attempted base stealers.
Got to have base runners.
Yeah, you need base runners, and it's tough to steal bases when you're down 7-0 like they have been most of the afternoon.
Palante kept it scoreless through 5. They had only 2 base runners in the first 5 innings. And one was immediately erased by a double play ball.
Ouch.
That, you could hear him up here. Terry already dealing with that sore right hand. Had a cortisone shot right at the All-Star break. See where that got him. Right on the shin guard.
At least on the guard. Of course, the guard is on there for a reason. He probably has a bruise underneath it.
Right. That is quite a color combination right there.
I was just thinking that his agent ought to get in touch with the people from Skittles and arrange an endorsement contract.
Honey, I think the tint is broken on the TV. The gloves have even more colors than the shoes and the pads. And Perdomo just chops it into short left for a knock. And it gets behind Fermin. Del Castillo will score easily. It rolls all the way to the wall. J.R. House gonna wave Perdomo. Here's the relay. He is in there. Jose Fermin, who played third base Friday and Saturday and started this game in center field, moved over to left. It got behind him and rolled all the way to the bullpen fence.
Well, that's a danger when you're a corner outfielder and there's a ball hit toward the line and you make a diving attempt. There is nobody there to back this play up.
And Jerry went all the way around. He had it all the way. Fairly close at the plate, but the throw is offline. Here's Corbin Carroll. They get 3 in the 6th, 2 more home in the 7th, and it's a game again at 7-5. Corbin doubled off the center field wall in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. He scored that a single for Perdomo and an E7. The error on Fermin. Long way to run for a single.
That sure is.
There's no RBI on that either. Well, Corbin chased that changeup with a wild swing. It's 1-2. Soriano really generating some swing and miss.
He's hurt.
Something's not right.
Not at all.
Yep. Something happened on that last swing. We'll hope for the best. They get 2 more, and it's 7-5 after 7. Ivan Herrera leads off the 8th in what is now a 7-5 ball game. Herrera 1 for 4, single in the 3rd. And he's got a single in the 8th. Taylor Clark back out there. Now it's Jordan Walker. Walker had an RBI double in the 3rd. He walked his last time up, 1 for 3. 76 runs batted in, the most in the major leagues. Jordan Walker. Cepho warming up in the St. Louis bullpen. 0-2 on Walker. Nathan Church on deck for the Cardinals. Saw Graceffo work in the ball game last night. A 1-2-3 6th inning. Couple of strikeouts. Wild card race today. The Cubs beat the Twins 10-1. The Padres beat the Royals 19-2. The Marlins are going backwards. They lost 3-1 at Milwaukee. Pittsburgh very much in the thick of things. They beat the Guardians in Cleveland 7-1. Things are tightening up.
They'll have some games to make up that got smoked out.
Yeah, that happened to us in D.C. a few years ago. So for the moment, the Nationals and the Padres are both 49 and 50. They're each 3 back of a wild card spot. Diamondbacks right now a game and a half back. Pirates and Marlins tied a half game back behind St. Louis. Cubs and Phillies have the top 2 wild card spots. That's your up-to-date out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by. Here's the 2-2 to Walker. A little low.
Good spot. Unfortunately, just below that bottom rung of the strike zone. Looking for that ground ball.
Walker, for a big guy, he gets up that line pretty quick. Swing and miss works too. He left that slider up. First strikeout for Taylor. There's one away in the 8th.
Got away with one right there.
Yeah, didn't do much.
You see that spiral like rotation on that Taylor Clark slider. Gets a swing and a miss.
Nathan Church took over in center field. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. About to be 0 for 2. Perdomo holding off Kepler. 2 outs. Let's check in with Andrew, the home buyer.
Catch the best deal for your house by calling me, Andrew, the home buyer.
Diamondbacks will have Moreno, Kepler, Locklear 4, 5, and 6 scheduled up in the bottom of the 8th inning, down 7-5. They've been out hit 11-7. Alec Burleson has 3 of the Cardinal hits. He has singled 3 times.
All 3 of them coming right back up the middle of the field. One a little bit to the left to straightaway center.
Slaps a changeup foul. If the Diamondbacks can come back and win this one, they will clinch the tiebreaker in the season series with St. Louis. If not, the decisive game will be the Thursday makeup game. Locklear cleans that up. A nice job by Taylor Clark. And look who's going to lead off the home half. Gabriel Moreno, the hottest hitter in this lineup. It's 7-5 in the 8th. Here's the rubber game of this 3-game set with the Cardinals. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly, Tom Walsh, Mark Grace here with you. 7-5 ball game. Diamondbacks were down 7-0 after 5.
They have chipped away 3 in the 6th, 2 more in the 7th, and here's Gordon Graceffo on to work the 8th as Gabriel Moreno leads it off. Graceffo worked a 1-2-3 6th here yesterday with 2 strikeouts. Moreno 0 for 2, had a bases loaded walk his last time out, part of that 3-run 6th inning. Gabby with an active 9-game hitting streak, but so far 0 for 2. He has multiple hits in 7 of those last 9 games. As he steps in here, he is 16 for his last 36. Up and in at 96. It's ball 2. Diamondbacks tied for the most comeback wins in the majors. They have 29. Dodgers and Milwaukee Brewers also have 29. This would be a considerable comeback, down 7-0 after 5.
Yeah.
Max Kepler on deck. It's 2-2 up against Gordon Graceffo, the 5th rounder by the Cardinals 5 years ago out of Villanova. Graceffo's a big dude out there, 6'4", 220 pounds. Gets most of that behind the fastball. Spike to slider.
Need a runner. Need a runner.
Gabby in his last 49 games is hitting .351. He's raised his season batting average more than 100 points over that stretch. Now the full count, 3-2. Tap to third. Blaze Jordan's got it. One out for Max Kepler now. Kepler singled in the 5th, 1 for 3 today. Kepler smokes it. Foul. Oh, he just hooked it. Out in front of that change just a bit. Coincidental that the Diamondbacks trailed this one 7-0 at one point. The largest comeback win in D-backs history was down 7-0. Back in August of 2022, they were down 7-0 to the Phillies, 113-7. Kepler with a fly ball to right. Nootbaar backing up. He's got room on the track. Just kind of died out there for the second out. That 7-0 comeback win over the Phillies, by the way, was Corbin Carroll's major league debut.
Wow.
By the way, this is just in from our D-backs TV newsroom. There's been a scoring change on the Geraldo Perdomo ball that got behind Jose Fermin in left field. It's been changed from a single to a home run. And so that is the first career inside the park home run for Geraldo Perdomo.
It gives him a couple of RBIs too that he did not have when that was initially ruled a single and an error.
Way to go, Jerry. Here it comes off the board. Locklear punches it through by a diving Weatherholt. And to get the tying run to the plate, here comes Nolan Arenado, and it's all right there for Nolan. What a moment this would be against his former team. He is 0 for 3.
He's hit the ball hard down to third base a couple of times. Find a hole.
Locklear today's had a bases loaded walk and a single. Ivan Herrera out to talk to Graceffo. Arenado 2 hits away from 2,000 for the career. He had 2 hits yesterday, a single, a double. He knocked in 2 runs. He is the tying run at the plate with 2 outs in the 8th.
Thompson and Jonathan Loaizaga in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Fastball's a strike at 96. Nolan 14 hits in his last 14 games, including 4 homers. And tie this thing up with 1 swing. Oh, a low call and a challenge.
Pitch called a strike. Batter challenging.
Tyler Jones has had kind of a chunky strike zone today. That appeared to be low, and it was.
Pitch to the ball. Arizona has 2 remaining.
Tell you, Nolan has a real good eye for that bottom of the strike zone. He likes to hit low pitches, and he knows where the limit is down there at the bottom of the zone.
Up in a big spot right here. Arenado, it's on its way, and we are tied. He's done it, and he's 1 shy of 2,000. They were down 7-0. It's 7-7. That's the 13th for Arenado, the former Cardinal. And how about that right there? So right after we get the news about the scoring change that led to Perdomo's inside to Parker, Arenado parks one.
Gets a hanging slider on the inside part of the plate. Fermin was playing on the warning track out there in left field. He couldn't get back there. Couldn't jump that high.
Great shot of Joe Maviv, the hitting coach, up on the top rope there. That's a jumbo jack, a free jumbo jack tomorrow. At Jack in the Box with a purchase of a large drink. They trailed it 7-0 after 5. It's 7-7 in the 8th. And here is Adrian Del Castillo. Del has singled, doubled, and scored twice today as the DH. He's 2 for 3. What a pop there by Arenado, and what a time for it.
Clutch.
Career hit number 1,999. Chased a high fastball there. 1-2. Perdomo, and inside the park, 2-run homer in the 7th. Arenado hit one over the fence in the 8th. Largest comeback in Diamondback history. August of 2022, down 7-0 to the Phillies. They've erased a 7-0 gap against the Cardinals here today. It's 3-2 on Del Castillo. It's a big game for both these clubs. You're looking at potential wild card tiebreakers. Diamondbacks will own that if they can come back and win this game today, regardless of what happens Thursday at Busch Stadium. 3-2 to Dell. Tell you what, his swings and the thump of the bat look a whole lot better.
His approach looks a whole lot better. He used to kind of jump at the ball. He was so anxious to get that bat head out in front of home plate. He got fooled by a lot of off-speed pitches, chasing high fastballs. He's just sitting back now and seeing that pitch.
It's the timing. Aboard for the 3rd time, Del Castillo, and Ryan Walsh better get a crack at this thing. 3 straight have reached with 2 outs against Graceffo, and that gets Dusty Blake out to the mound, the pitching coach. Just talked about the approach. That was a great plate appearance right there. So they got the go-ahead run aboard with 2 outs. Arenado's homer has tied it. You can see Joe Mather telling Del Castillo good at bat is to get a pinch runner out there now. And represents the go-ahead run. It's the king of the court, Tim Tawa, who will run for Dell.
Now you might see that stolen base I've been waiting for all afternoon. You got some speed on at first base with a catcher that hasn't thrown out a runner yet this year behind the plate.
Paul Smith, the hitter, a single in the 6th. Blood in the water here. And the Sharks are circling. Tawa runs for Del Castillo. Ate him up. Wynn cleans that up. They erase Tawa. But Arenado comes through with the big 2-out, 2-run game-tying homer. The 13th for Arenado, who's one shy of 2,000 hits. And as we go to the 9th inning, it's all tied up. It's our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing. Coolest play of the game.
Oh boy, did he mash that hanging slider right there. Fires up his teammates, fires up his hitting coach, fired up the fans.
Wow. Whew. Well, still got the game to win. Ryan Thompson out there now to face Mason Wynn as we start the 9th. Ryan came into some heavy traffic in the 6th inning yesterday. Quieted things down, got 2 big outs, his 40th appearance of the year. St. Louis 7 runs, 11 hits. They left 10 runners on base. Diamondbacks 7 runs, 9 hits. They've stranded 5. Cardinals, by the way, are out of challenges to this point, but if you go to extra innings, they do give you one additional challenge. Daniel Descalso, former Diamondback great, the bench coach for Oliver Marmol.
He's going to have the big seat at some point in the future. Daniel Descalso, real student of the game, was a great teammate everywhere he ever played, really knows the game inside and out.
Excellent, excellent dude. 1-2 in the Cardinals shortstop. Up the middle, off the mound, Perdomo spins and throws. Wow, what a play! Geraldo Perdomo with a big out to start the 9th.
Wow. That's a huge out right there. Mason Wynn runs really well. I mean, he is way up the middle of the field. A 2-hopper over to Locklear at first. What a play.
And how about on the other end, Locklear?
Nice.
Nicely done. So the Gold Glover for the Cardinals is thrown out by his opposite number, Fermin, who had that ball get behind him in left field for what turned out to be the first ever inside the park home run for Perdomo. Here's the hitter.
So he's tied with me right now.
Didn't it get stuck in a bench or something?
No.
Well, there's a base hit by Fermin, who's aboard now for the 4th time. He's singled twice to walk twice. Something happened, though. It rolled into a tunnel or something.
They hit a line drive to the gap in right center in Montreal, and Andre Dawson was coming over from right field. Tim Raines was coming over from left, and at the last second, Raines tried to reach down and make a shoestring catch and actually kicked the back of his glove, and the ball rolled past Andre Dawson all the way over into the corner in right field. Jim Davenport at the time was our third base coach, and I rounded second. I was running hard, but not fast, running hard, and there, he started windmilling. I thought, oh my God, here we go. Head first slide into home plate. Gary Carter sat down on top of my shoulders and safe.
That hurts. Bouncing around. Just good scoring is all that is.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Well, they've had few answers for Newt Bar, has been up there 4 times and walked 3 of them. Jose Fermin, the potential go-ahead run for the Cardinals at first. 1 out in the 9th. Diamondbacks trailed at 7-0 at 7-7. That was August 29th of '84 at Montreal, we're told. And staff has that on a special calendar of all your days marked off.
We got 3 days marked off. That was the end of probably my best week in the major leagues.
Wow.
We were on an East Coast swing. We played the Mets. I hit 2 late home runs to beat the Mets twice in that series. Had the inside the Parker in Montreal. Ended up winning National League Player of the Week.
'84 was your all-star year, of course.
A 20 home run season, 80 RBIs for the Giants, the battling Giants.
Took me a while to catch my breath after the inside the Parker. I cooled off considerably after that.
Understandably. It's the elevation and so forth. There goes Fermin, got a good jump. Nootbaar fouls it off. It's full 3-2.
Yeah, this would figure to be a good hit and run combination for the Cardinals. Fermin runs okay. Nootbaar handles the bat extremely well. And of course, Ollie Marmol just wants to stay out of that double play right now.
Just a parade of sinkers. Thompson looking for that ground ball double play. Juan Murillo is set to go in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. They need swing and miss. And that's ball 4 with Fermin off and running. So back-to-back one-out base runners by Thompson. And here's Blaze Jordan, who's been a big bat here today. The rookie third baseman has singled, twice tripled, and knocked in 3 runs. He's 3 for 4. A one-out single and a walk. 2 on for the Cardinals. Thompson needs that double play ball in a big way right here. Nootbaar's walked 4 times today. Boy, just tied him up with that sinker.
Yeah.
Cardinals 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position today. They've left 10 runners on base.
Look at the movement on that sinker. Started near the inside corner, ended up about 3 feet off the plate inside.
Short center. Well, he's able to get it. Everybody has to stay put. A big out for Ryan, but now you'll deal with Weatherholt. They have Murillo ready in the bullpen. Let's see which matchup Torlavello prefers, and I think he's headed up the steps of the dugout. Here he comes. They'll want Murillo to try to get swing and miss against Weatherholt here. Keep the ball from getting into play. Don't want something sneaking through the infield. And he will make the move. 7-7 in the 9th. Can they complete this miraculous comeback? We'll take a break.
Right-hander Juan Murillo, who had a couple of scoreless 8th innings in the sweep at Dodger Stadium last weekend, but a bumpy 8th inning here Friday night in the opener against the Cardinals. Had a walk, a single, and an RBI sac fly. He needs to get the 3rd out here in the 9th. J.J. Weatherholt is the hitter for the Cardinals.
You may have noticed as Murillo came into the ballgame, I know I sure did. He usually wears bright pink shoes out there on the mound, but he's wearing some white kicks today.
Nice and clean. Weatherholt an RBI single in the 3rd, 1 for 5. Fermin is at 2nd. Nootbaar at 1st for the Cardinals. 2 outs in the 9th. Diamondbacks will have the top of the order due up in the home half. Marte, Perdomo, Carroll. Got to get that 3rd out right here. That's what they're looking for. Just pump it in there at 100 and get swing and miss. They don't want the ball in play here. If you did, you would have stuck with Thompson. You're looking for the strikeout. One and 2, another one at 100 from Juan Murillo, who has become a critical part of this bullpen. Murillo, 42 appearances. He's already equaled his total number from all of last year as a rookie. And he's a strike away from stranding 2. Couldn't get it a bite on that slider. That's worth a risk at 1 and 2 right there. Worth a chance. Wants to make a pitch here, avoid that full count. 2-2. Rolled to first. Locklear's got it. Juan Murillo gets a huge out right there. And you've got the big 3 coming up. 7-7, bottom 9. They're jumping up and down at the ballpark. Can they complete the largest comeback ever? Marte, Perdomo, Carroll coming up. Stu up. Perdomo on deck behind Ketel Marte. Torlavello with some advice for Marte, some instructions in the on-deck circle. Torrey coming out of the dugout to deliver that message. And there's strike 1 to Ketel. Against the new pitcher for the Cardinals, the right-hander, Luis Gastelum, his 5th major league appearance. Marte trying to walk it off with one swing. Saw Gastelum give up the Corbin Carroll home run in the 8th inning on Friday night. Corbin due up 3rd in this inning. It's 0-2 on Marte. Patel kind of got himself out there.
Sure did.
Yeah. Hoping for a better at bat. And Stalum with a strikeout. Here's Jerry, who has walked and hit the inside of Parker. That came after Adrian Del Castillo had singled to lead off the inning, a 2-run homer. Corbin Carroll is due up next, but Jorge Barosa has come out of the on-deck circle. Now this might go back to what we saw earlier when Corbin struck out in the 7th inning and looked to be in a great deal of pain and discomfort, but he's in the dugout smiling. His spot is due up next, but it's Barosa who will take the at-bat. That's not a great sign.
Not at all.
2-0 on Perdomo. Trying to get the winning run aboard.
And we mentioned it the other day too. The guys that go to the All-Star game, they don't really get a break. You know,
yeah.
Corbin Carroll's been an everyday guy with the exception of some minor injuries here or there. But
I mean, considering he just hit a home run off this guy Friday night.
Hurry.
Swing and bunt, check swing. Herrera's on it, and they're able to retire Perdomo. Ivan Herrera, nice play back there. And here comes Barosa now to bat for Carroll. This is the swing that Corbin took in the 7th inning to end the bottom of the 7th inning, and watch his reaction to the swing and miss. Something went wrong there. He came back out and remained in the game defensively, and we just saw him smiling in the dugout. But clearly they felt the need to get him out of there. He just homered off Gastelum Friday, but they'll have Barosa take the at bat. So Jorge Barosa has his moment in front of him here. Jorge can get aboard as the winning run. You bring Moreno up to the plate. The hottest hitter in this lineup. Slap foul on 1 and 2. Luis Gastelum, a native of Mexico, making only his 5th career major league appearance. 24-year-old right-hander. Jorge won't chase the changeup, sailed away arm side. It's ball 2. Gastelum signed by the Cardinals back in 2023. Moreno would be next. Better change up there. Gastelum a 1-2-3 ninth with 2 strikeouts. We'll go to extras here at Chase. The final out of the Cardinal 9th will be the runner at second base in the 10th. Jorge Barosa, who hit for Corbin Carroll, takes over in right field, and the batter will be Ivan Herrera. Juan Murillo, who got that final out in the 9th, back out for the 10th. And if you're out of challenges ABS wise, you do get additional challenges, 1 per extra inning. They do not carry over.
So the Cardinals get a challenge back. Herrera bunts it foul and nearly clubbed Jordan Walker in the on-deck circle. That one just missed him.
Herrera didn't look real comfortable squaring around. He has yet to put down a sac bunt this year, something that he's just not usually asked to do.
I think we just saw why.
Yeah.
Locklear in a bit on the grass at third, Aaron out at first, Aaron out back at third. So you want to bunt. Here's a sinker up in your grill at 99. Trying to square up again. It's a big league hardball game right here. Oh, a little scary. Yeah, too close for comfort there.
Keep an eye on Weatherhold out there at second base. Not a percentage play to try to steal third, but he's got that kind of speed.
And Herrera rolls it into left. Pop Warner stops Weatherhold at third. They're on the corners with no outs, and here comes the Major League RBI leader. Third hit today for Herrera. Walker has an RBI double and a base on balls. So he's added to his Major League total, now 76 runs batted in. Torres will run at first for Herrera. Ollie Marmol has two other catchers on his bench with Crooks and Pajes, so they can run for Herrera.
In a tie game, extra innings, he probably wants to get his better throwing catcher behind the plate. Oh my.
Another sinker up and in from Murillo. That's two towers that he's buzzed here and two batters.
Yeah, I don't mind pitching these guys inside, just don't like them up there above the shoulders.
Yeah. We're gonna miss. This is where Murillo, in these circumstances with that ghost runner at second now with third, you're really looking for swing and miss. You can avoid the ball in play, and that's the ace that Murillo has up his sleeve. Broken bat. Jerry's got it. And at first, they double off Torres. A critical mistake by the Cardinals. That's Brian Torres, the 29-year-old rookie, came in to run for Herrera, and he's picked off. It's a double play.
Second time in this series that a pinch runner's made a mistake over there at first base. It was Barossa in game one. Torres here, I'm not sure what he was thinking right there. That ball was hanging up in the air. It looked pretty clear to me that Perdomo was going to make a play on it.
Boy, you can get Church here. What a tremendous break for the Diamondbacks. The center fielder 0 for 2. Up the middle, Jerry's got it. Church can run. Got a hustle here. Yeah, got it. A 0 in the 10th for the Cardinals. Moreno will lead it off. This time St. Louis blew a lead of at least 7 runs in the game and lost was 20-10 at Colorado. And they were a base hit away from losing this one. Barossa is the runner at second base. Pedro Pajes takes over behind the plate after they ran for Herrera. And Gabriel Moreno, with a base loaded walk in a 6th, 0 for 3, is the hitter. Luis Gastelum, the right-hander, is back out there for the Cardinals.
Not really an attempted pickoff. I think Gastelum was just hoping to see if Gabby Moreno would show bunt or maintain his stance. Gabby didn't tip off anything.
Just the 5th career Major League appearance for Gastelum, the rookie right-hander, 24 years old. It's 0-1 on Moreno. Gabby to right. Nootbaar's got it. Barossa has to stay put. 1 away.
Right idea, trying to move that ball to the right side of the field. Unfortunately, hit it too good. Carried all the way out to Nootbaar that time.
Well, this would be the Diamondbacks' 30th comeback win of the season, and given the circumstances in a potential wild card situation, none bigger than this one.
That's for sure.
If they can pull it off after trailing 7-0 after 5. Here's Kepler. Gastelum's got a pretty good changeup. It's been a very effective pitch for him. Jonathan Loaizaga, who threw 15 pitches of the game yesterday, starts to loosen up. Fouled away on a fastball, and it's 0-2. Locklear on deck. Gastelum, in his appearance here Friday in the opener, struck out Kepler in the 8th inning. And he's got him on the back foot here, 0-2. Rio's gotten them 4 big outs. Barroso the winning run at second. 1 away and a 1-2 count on Max Kepler. Able to check on that good changeup. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Locklear in his season debut on deck. And Max will take a timeout. 8 RBIs in 14 games for the Diamondbacks for Max Kepler. Kepler to right.
Get over his head.
Newtbar can't get it. Here comes Barroso. Max Kepler walks it off for the Diamondbacks. August of 2022, they were down 7-0 against the Phillies and came back to win it 13-7. And they come back from 7-0 down to win this one and beat the Cardinals, matching the largest comeback win in D-backs history. And boy, that's a big one. They now match the Cardinals with 51 wins.
Outstanding at bat right there by Kepler. He got a changeup down and away, went out and hooked it back to right field. Newtbar got a late break on that ball. Heads up, Dave McKay.
The first time the Cardinals blew a lead and lost of at least 7.